Alright, I got a 2011 F-150 that has a 3.5 liter EcoBoost in it, and you guys may have experienced this at a time or two in the life of owning the vehicle. Basically what happens is you first start up in the morning, maybe backing out of the driveway, parking spot, whatever, and you go to hit the brakes. The car's been started for maybe 15 seconds already, and hit the brakes, and it just will not stop. They're hard as a rock, no brake assist at all, and then the rest of the day works just fine. And you're wondering what it is. Well, what it is the vacuum pump. They have an electronic vacuum pump instead of a mechanical vacuum pump like the rest of the EcoBoost engines. And the reason they require that vacuum pump is because the engine doesn't have enough, produce enough vacuum to supply that booster reliably for all your braking needs. So it needs a supplement with a vacuum pump. Well, they decided to make this one an electronic one, and just like, let's say, the air compressors for the air rides with the piston and all that inside of there, how they have it, it has potential to seize up on there, whereas mechanical ones that bolt right in the camshaft, there's never any problems with them at all. So what I'm going over today is how to change it out. I don't think there's any way to really fix them. Once they seize, they seize. And what the issue is overnight they sit and they seize initially, they never turn on, and then they may get jolted and they actually do break free and they're pumping and you got vacuum and your brakes are fine for the rest of the day. Whereas some of them actually go out completely and there's just no assist, then you'll obviously know there's an issue. Now, unfortunately, the pump on these is about $600 for that little vacuum pump in there. So it's a very expensive repair, and it should really be a recall considering it's kind of a safety issue. But I haven't seen anything come down the pipe yet because there hasn't been enough information out there, and it's usually low-speed type stuff. But it seems they overly engineered these 3.5 liter EcoBoosts in the F-150s. They engineered problems right into them, it seems. Because the 3.5 liter EcoBoost in the Taurus doesn't have these issues. You know, a lot of these issues, including the brakes. So, either way, I'm going to show you how to change it out. I'm going to show you where it's at. And you can kind of make sure it's turning on or not. It probably is not turning on, at least intermittently. And I'll show you how to change it out. I mean, it's basically a part change. It's in the left front fender well here. And like I said, it's very expensive. Alright, so these are very easy to change out. They're right behind the driver's side headlamp. And there's one scrivet right here. Just take that out. And it's literally a screw and a rivet combined. Get that out of there. Then flap this to the side, hook under here, something like this. Get it out of the way. And then there's three 10mm bolts, one right here and then two up top here. Take those out. And then all we gotta do is wiggle the actual headlamp out and it'll pop from the retainers on this side that are push retainers. Something like that. And then we could twist or take off the connectors here, whichever you prefer. And they're gonna be kind of hard to take off. Like this one. I'll just turn it and take it out, be a little easier. Same thing with that one. And there it is, right behind there. You can see everything now. And there's one little wire harness that goes to it right here. Follow it over to a retainer on the actual bracket. Loosen it, and then pull it up, and we'll be able to get to it to disconnect it. And make sure it's not corroded. This one's just fine. On the other side here, there's a connector for the vacuum to go out to the booster and the reservoir and all that. And there's a little yellow tang on it right here. Just push it in and then pull it off of the actual pump. And then down below, straight down below this, you'll see two studs sticking out and 13mm nuts. And it looks a little something like this. Long stud sticking out, and there'll be two 13mm nuts right on this radiator core support right here, directly underneath it. Alright. after that, it should directly lift up and out of here. You can change it out pretty easily then. Going back in, just clean the area where it's going to bolt down to, so we don't get no vibrations coming through from rocks and debris transferring through the body. There we go. And you could set the new one in there the same way we took it out of here. And we'll get our connector on now before we forget. Snaps until it clicks. And then same thing with the actual vacuum line on here. Just push it in till it clicks. It's all self-locking. Give it a little tug. And then of course put the two nuts back on down below to bolt it to the radiator core support. Now once you got all your light bulbs back in, all your connectors for the headlamp assembly here, it just simply slides back into place. Line up this side first where it sticks into the fender. Quick tap like that. And then you can start putting in the rest of your bolts and secure it in there. And don't forget your air deflector here, tuck it behind. Put your scrivet back in here. Close your hood. We can go for a test drive. Alright, let's tear it apart and see why it is freezing up, seizing up, whatever it's doing, and not pumping out that vacuum. My guess, being in the front of the vehicle, exposed to all the elements basically, I'm guessing there's corrosion issues going on inside here. Now ideally it should be totally sealed, but must not be. We'll see. Check it out. Outside's not too bad for corrosion. Oh yeah. Wow. It's that corroded on a 2010 or 2011. It's got these little diaphragms here for the pump. Yeah. Same thing on the other side, obviously. Wow. See, these are actual diaphragms that pump the vacuum. One on each side. It's like a double piston design. And man, yeah, they can handle it. It's rubber. But down in there, it's all seized up in there. Let's see if we can push it. Oh, no, I cannot push it. Let's bring you down inside of here. You can see what I'm seeing. You see there's little bearings in the actual push rods connected to the crankshaft, which is the motor itself, right? Where's the motor at? On that side. And they're going to seize up. They can't handle all this water. So now you can see why. Yours is either blowing the fuse, or seizing up, or working intermittently. Poor seal design on the end caps here. That's just bad. Now when you're done, make sure that the fuse 64, which is a 40 ampere, is not blown. Mine was, so I had to change it out. It's right here on your power distribution box right here. And you can also check this fuse by looking through the little window on here, if you can clear this up real quick. And make sure that it's not blown as a pre-check also. Alright, let's test it out. Ah, power assisted brakes. Imagine that. It's good to have them back. Now, I don't know why Ford is not recalling this or providing an extended warranty or even acknowledging it, except through hotline request history we have. But it's quite common. I don't know if it's because it's a slow speed first thing in the morning issue or what, because when you're sitting there idling, eventually the engine will provide enough vacuum. There is an actual vacuum line coming from the engine to provide vacuum into the booster and all that, but it's just not sufficient. That's the reason for the actual vacuum pump on there. So it's very important to have on there. They wouldn't put it on there if it wasn't important, especially high boost situations. You're just not going to have that required reservoir on there. So if anything, hopefully it's let you guys know where it's at, how to check it, what fuse it is, and hopefully you guys catch it before you're out of warranty and get it fixed so you're safe.